Hi, it's Molly Hagan. I'm going to be reflecting on Dorothy Roberts' book, Shattered Bonds. Unfortunately, her statistics and the disparities that she repeats throughout part one of her book are still incredibly relevant today. If you look up the ratios of African American children living within the foster care system, they are still incredibly high in comparison to the percentage of African American children within the general population. She highlights the traumas traumas of the assumed neglect um, are much lower than the traumas of the children being removed from the home. She includes a quote by Robert Wessler that the children don't hate their parents as much as we think they should. We, quote unquote, we thinking they should is an assumption that our way is the only way. And it really helps to drive home the point of looking at the children and trying to empathize that this is all they know. This is where they have formed their bonds with their families, and to assume that the right thing to do is to rip them out of that environment is arrogant, and especially in comparison to a lot of white children that are dealing with neglectful or similar situations in the services that they often receive in the home, as opposed to being taken out of the home and placed in foster care. She drives home the need for expanding kinship care, that how much healthier it is for everyone involved if these children that really are in dangerous situations can then be placed with family, expanding the definition of family to be more inclusive of other familiar family friends or civil union partners that the children can maybe be placed with. Also, emphasizing the power that mandated reporters have. She repeatedly shares stories of almost an abuse of this power, and how these all mandated reporters should really go through a much more thorough training on exactly what this reporting, the ramifications that the report could have. Not that their intention isn't good, but should they be instead reaching out to other community programs or services, maybe educating teachers and doctors and welfare workers what resources that are available to them, that when they are faced in questionable circumstances, it's easier for them to turn to those and try to get the family the proper help that they need, as opposed to just dumping them into the child welfare system. That especially if they're a black family, can end up receiving permanent ramifications or permanent removal. Also, she points out a lot of times in the stories how the courts overlooked the circumstances, that most of these circumstances stem from poverty, and overlook what the courts could be instead doing to help the family, as opposed to just giving the parents that are on trial a list of unrealistic demands. Maybe there should be a course in law school for the judges, or in any sort of college setting, where the students, the future judges and agency workers, have to go through and do all these requirements that are often placed on the families whose children are taken away, to really get a better understanding of how unrealistic a lot of them can be. And kind of walk in the parents' shoes for a minute. And then just, again, what are some better ways that we can serve these families instead of punish them? It's a very sad book to read, but it's very dense with issues that, like I stated, are still relevant today. Hopefully, we're on the cusp of some even greater change due to all the conversations that are happening and the transparencies that the communities are demanding of government agencies. But yeah, there's still a lot of work to do. So thank you.